Is coming up on a new day in Jefferson City, both literally and figuratively. Yesterday, Governor Eric Greitens announced he will resign this Friday, but the future of his legal issues remains unclear.
And joining us this morning to help make some sense of it all is defense attorney John Lynch. John, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Glad to be here.
So a lot of people this morning waking up after the news broke yesterday evening are saying, why now? Any idea why this is happening now?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and guess, and I know we don't like to guess, but I have a strong feeling that perhaps the special prosecutor located this ethereal photo of this woman, and that play a role in the defense decision to enter into an agreement with the prosecutor. I assume we're all going to find out at about 9 o'clock, though.
I was going to ask you that. It says it's going to be a fair response to this whole situation. So when you think fair, in your eyes, what is fair in this case? To let the governor off the hook, or kind of both people save face?
Well, let's remove the emotion from the equation, the politics from the equation, and just deal with the low-level Class D felony with a person with no criminal history. It's a low-level felony. There's questions regarding how any evidence was obtained and if any evidence was obtained. Politics was unfortunately infused in the situation, but a Class D felony with no criminal history, probation is not out of the ordinary, it's not out of the realm, even avoiding a conviction is not out of the ordinary. I'd also remember that the way this was charged, it was the 2016 statute. That does allow it to be filed or amended as a misdemeanor. So there's a chance this could be a misdemeanor. Depends on whether or not the state could prove dissemination or multiple numbers of viewers.
And John, we were talking a little bit this morning about dark money, that he may have been coming out and saying, okay, I'm going to resign now because maybe there were some donors, some hidden donors who don't want their names out there, who may have been giving the governor money. What are your thoughts on that?
Enter the politics in the situation. A lot of donors want to be anonymous, unfortunately, these days because the polarizing nature of our political environment. And I have a strong feeling they said, hey, you need to do the right thing for the state of Missouri. We need to get you off front and center stage and let the Missourians move on with more pressing business. Because if we think about it, this low-level felony is should not take precedent over what this state needs to do to move forward.
Everything seems to have happened very quickly. Surprisingly and quickly at the same time. Is that a good thing for the governor, that let's get this done right now and not drag it out?
Cut your losses, move on, get out of the spotlight would be my advice to the governor, both politically and as a defense attorney.
But lastly, John, I mean, he's not going to be out of the spotlight yet. His last day is Friday. He will officially resign from office 5 p.m. This isn't the last we're going to see of the governor.
Probably not. He's probably going to still have to defend himself against these dark money, the charity donor list issues. It seems that some in his own team were taking umbrage at his comments regarding that, as we saw reported. Some in his own teams, used as a scapegoat, if I'm reading correctly and understanding what's been reported. So I think there's some issues there. We also know that there's possibly an FBI investigation, which makes sense to me because if it's public corruption, you take it out of that environment and you have an objective third party come in, which is a public corruption unit, either at the FBI or the U.S. Attorney's Office, and do this investigation without any of the local political baggage.
Sounds like this is going to be going on for a while. John, thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. Pleasure.